Hello, my little nerds and nerdettes. Please join us for another episode of...
Dungeon Crawlers. Welcome back to the table.
Okay.
Welcome back to the table.
Dungeon
Yeah, we don't
crawlers.
claim him. Anyway, welcome
Okay.
back.
Brought to you by
Welcome back.
Dasani.
Welcome
I
back.
Fiji water.
1
Dasani.
week off. We're back to our normal day in, day out. The group is in the mines. Exploring and spelunking, murdering poor helpless babies, and skinning and
You
I
make
mean
us
just
sound like
horrible stuff.
monsters.
I mean, I guess.
Was
yeah,
that snake we killed that we thought was a basilisk? Was that also a baby snake?
I mean, you don't know. Like you wouldn't know because you kicked it into the frickin' abyss. So
The
Is that
Underdark.
never
this
know.
2 episodes in a row?
It's the Underdark. It's
for
alive.
all I know, it's still falling.
Ooh,
It
ooh,
might
ooh, it's
still
gonna
be falling.
It's gonna be a side story. You're gonna make
Side story.
there's gonna be a movie made about that snake. Like
Yeah,
the point of
Gerald.
view
Yeah.
the day that it got kicked into the abyss and its life after.
Actually,
this villain origin story.
Yep.
for those of you that know me, my cousin mostly, I don't like snakes. So honestly, that thing could fall for the next 400 years and I wouldn't feel bad, not even slightly. So
Well, falling's
Well, that might
not
have
so
lived
bad.
for another 400 years.
It's gonna become the big bad in the next campaign. A snake is gonna hit the abyss, and
do you
it's gonna
remember
be like,
me?
"Do you
I'm
remember
Gerald.
me? You kicked
You
me into
kicked
this.
me over.
How
Canonically,
dare you?"
now the snake's name was Gerald.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it grew
And then
sentient.
you all had to say, "Not so sneaky, snake, are you?"
Snicky snake.
Snake is
You all
snake.
taunted me.
Snake is snake.
But
I'm a not so sneaky snake.
the group is kicking poor defenseless snakes and harming, poor defenseless bullets, as Axel so cruelly murdered it and skinned it, mostly. They've made their way through the mine, collecting and battling, finding a almost like a rare albino-ish type bullet that's a little bigger than its mate and baby. Battle was had, fiercely fought, with you guys coming out on top. Axel putting in some heavy work. His back little sore today, after a twofer, as you guys went toe to toe with the basilisks. Which seemed to be a little bit more of a surprise as they seemed to be in kind of a sleeping state, and you guys stumbled on to their little nesting ground or sleeping ground. A ferocious battle was fought, resulting in the party kind of worse for wear, a little beat up, and unfortunately one member of the group becoming stone. As the final spell was cast by Nova to take out one of the basilisks, freezing it in its entirety, making it basically complete ice. And as she did, she froze, turning to stone, casting her last spell with a grimace kind of on her face, like a wow, fuck, I got you, but you got me. As the group kind of finished up and took out the last bits, I guess you could say, of this fighting group here. And that brings us to you guys also finding Erlane, a moon elf that seems to have fallen or was injured in some way, from either above or below, or had come in. You're not really sure, but you found her heavily injured and kind of close to where the basilisks were, getting her to a safe location before you guys did come into battle with this. So, where we God, did you really? Yes, he did. Nice, Axel. Nice. But we leave off with the group kind of at the end of this battle. You guys are kind of coming to your senses, wrapping everything up, noticing who's hurt, who's not hurt, as the two of the creatures are pretty much like chopped in half and totally mutilated and killed, and one is completely frozen solid. So that's where we leave off. Battle is done. What are you doing?
Sophia will shake off the bite marks and thank Evelyn for the healing.
Well, patience will help Sophia to her feet.
Thank you.
I was looking pretty bad.
A moment.
We have to avert our gaze still.
What?
I will continue to avert my gaze.
Okay.
Hey, hey, Furball, do we need to stop looking at these things still?
No, it's they have to consciously activate it. Once they're dead, and their eyes are as good as normal.
Daring contest with the dead vassal.
Is everyone else all right?
I didn't get hit at all, but I also didn't really get to do much.
Is Nova still frozen?
I don't know.
Does she look frozen?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Are you
check on
going
her.
over to look?
Yes.
Okay. As you kind of having the conversation, listening to Patience and Sophia talk, you kind of turn around, like looking the party over. You're kind of assessing the wounded. You help Sophia, and you're looking around. And you're kind of doing a head count. And you're like, well, where's Nova? And you turn around and you kind of start walking in Axel's direction. It's very dark. There's still no light. You have dark vision, I'm assuming, correct?
I do.
I think-
60 feet, I think.
Yeah, who's
He's
the
an
only
elf.
one that doesn't? I think it's just nobody. Actually, I think you all have dark vision. Right?
Question, Ginge. When I became stone, would I still be glowing?
No.
Because I had. Okay, I wasn't sure.
But you do start walking in that direction and kind of, making out the scenery. You see the spatters of blood on the ground, and it's black and white, so, no color to it. But you see the spatters of blood along the ground and the completely severed in half basilisk as you're walking by it behind you. You notice the one that's completely frozen solid, and as you get closer to that, you're kind of like, you're looking it over, and I mean, it's completely frozen solid. And you're like, oh, wow. You look off to the left, and you see Nova outreached, just holding this position, casting a spell, and she's completely stone.
Yeah, that's problematic. If I rolled medicine, would I potentially know how to fix her?
I would say, yeah, go ahead.
Could I help since I'm just level 20 intelligence, just a smart dude?
Yeah, I'll give it. Go ahead and roll. See if you can help her. Or you guys can roll separately, or you can give her advantage.
I'd rather give advantage. You want me to roll just like a
3.
intelligence?
22.
22. You being somebody who does help heal and a bookworm that you are, you've read about this. There's realistically there's only two ways. There's a spell or something of that nature, and correct me if I'm wrong, Axel, but is it lesser or greater?
Greater resto.
Great.
Thank you. Greater restoration. a greater restoration, or there has been some texts from alchemists that have said that few alchemists have figured out a way how to turn pieces of the basilisk into a cure.
Is she stuck to the ground or is she movable?
And that mostly would be like their gullet, like an oil within. And is she stuck? No, she's just frozen, completely
Would I
petrified.
be heavier being stone? Or would I
You
be...
would
Yes.
be considered
When you
heavy.
become petrified, your weight increases by a factor of 10.
Oh, damn.
So if you weigh 100 pounds, you now weigh 1,000.
Holy fuck!
Yeah.
You're complete stone.
I don't suppose anyone knows greater
Um,
restoration.
And because you rolled so high, you would also know kind of the nitty gritties of petrification, being basically she is alive, but she's just frozen in infinite time. Like she's frozen in time. But she would die if she were to get knocked over or broken.
What a time to only have lesser restoration. That's not good.
Alright guys, I got my next character ready.
Maple syrup can't fix this.
I mean, you might try.
I don't think I can lift 1,000 pounds.
Are you trying?
Do I still have my arms up?
No.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
What we need to do is get one of these mine carts on the tracks. You know, we probably can't drag her anywhere, but we could. You know, a few of us could probably lift her into a cart and then at least get her back to the entrance of the cave.
If we bump her too hard,
Not
she'll
necessary.
What do you mean not necessary? Don't we gotta get her out of here?
All we gotta do is push her a few feet.
To where?
He gets up from examining the basilisk, and he takes out that black piece of chalk that he's been thumbing occasionally, and I'll draw the outline for the demiplane on the wall of the cave.
Okay.
Just put her in here for now.
Oh, okay.
Is if we push her in there, she's not gonna fall and shatter on the other end, right?
No, if there's no one inside of it and it's closed, then it's essentially put into stasis.
Okay.
All right. I'll activate the arms again for some extra oomph.
So you're just kind of moving her into that door.
Yeah, but I am gonna take my time.
Okay.
I'll
Just
be
you?
assisting.
Okay. Roll strength with advantage.
Okay. I get to use my wisdom because of my arms. So.
Just don't roll a natural one.
I know.
You don't want me or Sophia doing
Holy
it.
shit. That was one roll.
Ooh. Okay.
Good lord, man.
Don't
So
fucking break me, please. I have a
I'm-
character ready, but I
so-
really don't want to.
I said I was taking my time. I'm not going fast.
you watch as Patience kind of gets herself under one of the arms and around the waist, and you get on the other side and you guys start to kind of move, and as you do,
I'm using my real arms and my spirit arms at the same time.
Yup. You both are kind of moving, and Patience, as you're pushing, your feet, this is kind of like a soft, like a gravel, and your foot kind of like slips, and you feel like her statue like jiggle a little bit, and you're like, oh fuck, and you both of you guys like steady her again, and you only manage to move her like an inch or two, not much.
Man, what has she been eating?
I'll give you one more go at it.
Parasitic food.
I'll give guidance.
All right.
Would you rather help me, or would you rather me help you? Because my wisdom's a +4.
I would rather you help me.
Okay. Sounds good. Give him guidance then.
Plus, you've been rolling like dog shit for 2 weeks.
No, dude,
You're
my
so
fucking
cursed.
my rolls on multiverse have been
Okay,
so
hold on,
bad.
hold on. Here's my question. And I told you to do this after last week. Did you sacrifice anything?
No, I didn't. That's probably why.
You didn't do it. You guys
I mean,
heard it.
I
You didn't do it.
sacrificed my time
The
today.
dice gods have not
Yeah.
been
Do
appeased.
things.
No, you have not appeased the dice gods.
What,
Just watch.
what can I do? Instruct me in the ways. I'm new to this faith.
I don't know.
You need to repent. You need to confess and repent to Dice Christ.
To dice Christ. 17.
Oh,
Yeah.
19.
With guidance, that's a 19.
Okay, so this time, Axel, kind of that fear and cold.
Wait, you have a
sweat,
+8 to strength?
Athletics, yeah.
Oh, well, shit.
That fear and strength, or that fear,
That would have been a 60.
kind of like washes over you, and you get like that cold sweat. Like, okay, like my pack partner, we almost tipped her ass over and fucking shattered her. Not again. And you kind of really get like that perfect, like when you're moving stuff, you know, you get like that, just that right stance, and you guys both get on both sides, and you're like looking at Patience like, okay, this time don't fucking let go, like here and here, and you guys both like gear up, and you guys shove her, and you guys watch as the dirt kind of gets pushed, but you manage to make that headway, and you do get her pushed through the doorway.
Alrighty. I will then close it once we're out of it.
So, what's the plan? I mean, done the job, but I don't think we're just gonna leave her like that.
Well, we haven't done the whole job just yet. We still gotta harvest these things.
Oh,
That's gonna be the
Yeah.
harder part.
uh,
Kibbles, come over and help me with this.
Sure.
I'll bring one of their heads to the ground and hold down the lower half of its jaw with my foot, and then I'll, to KB, I'll say, I need you to hold its upper half open. Just hold it open as wide as you can with one of your hands, and then with the other one, take its tongue and just maneuver it out of the way of wherever I'm working. You got small hands, so you'll be the best person for the job on this. It gives me more room to work with. And we got to be really careful here, because if we cut open the esophagus, then all the fluid will leak out and it'll be worthless.
Okay.
And I will give it the old survival check with advantage. Attempt to harvest its esophagus.
Do it up.
where did you learn all this stuff anyway?
Gotta fend for yourself out in the desert.
Probably one of the books I gave him.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Damn.
With
Good.
guidance, that's a 24.
I was gonna say 13 ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, this is hard.
DC is very high. One, because it sits farther back down in there, and like Axel said,
You gotta
Moving
cut out
the
its
tongue.
whole esophagus and take it out without cutting it open.
just like a deer, you cut it the wrong way, and all the nasty shit spills into the body.
It's ruined.
Eh. So you watch as KB, you kind of put your tiny arm down and in there, and he has the jaws, the fangs, like coiled as far away from your arm as possible. And you can still see a little bit of the venom kind of dripping from the fangs, as now there's nothing holding it in, so like a little drop every once in a while. You get all the way in there, and you grab kind of the base of the back of the tongue, and you pull it completely like out the side of the mouth, and you like wedge it against the corner of the lips and like push it down as much as possible, giving him as clear of a shot as possible. And Axel skillfully pops his left hand down in there and kind of grabs the top of the esophagus, and you watch as one quick movement, he goes like on the outside, he goes down and makes a cut and then cut the top quickly, and you watch as in one movement with his left hand he pulls out the entire esophagus in one go. And you have a fully and pristine gullet.
Okay, 30% of the way done. Now we gotta get Ufer in her fangs and Harold his eyes. You still down to help me?
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
I'm like elbow deep in it. Yeah, man, I'm already here.
All right,
Just like a
going
sloppy
for
mess, like, let's go.
Yeah.
going for the fangs next.
Okay.
Advantage. I assume I'm still getting guidanced.
Yep.
Yep.
Should be enough for one more go.
So 16
16.
on the fangs.
That is the DC. So you are able to, not as meticulously as you took out the gullet. Something you're kind of used to with, skinning deer or hunting most deers in general. You're just kind of, you know that certain things kind of contaminate and ruin the body, or ruin whatever you're trying to take out. This time, a little more foreign. Like you've taken teeth out before, but not in a manner that you need to preserve. More like, we're gonna make it into a necklace.
No.
So you're kind of like, okay, how do I break this off without doing the least amount of damage? First thing that comes to your mind, stick your sword in one corner and just wedge it and pop. And it works, but you do notice that it kind of it starts to crack like the base of the tooth a little bit, and you're like, ooh shit, and so you kind of start to like can opener like around the tooth, like the base of the tooth. So it does come out, but you have like a little bit of a crack on the base of the tooth, and you have like gum and like pieces of the mouth attached to the tooth as well.
Yum.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly,
Yummy.
but it does look functional, and I mean it looks like it's an intact tooth.
Okay. And then finally is the eyes. Plus a D4.
It's gonna be a higher DC.
23 for the eyes.
What's that?
23 for the eyes.
Yeah. So easy enough on this one. At this point, knowing that you don't need to save anything else, you can pretty much go at it however what angle you would like to come at. So you choose a weird approach. You basically make a slit behind each one of the eyes, and you peel the skin back, basically popping it out from up top. You create kind of like a crevice, and as you do, you detach the retina, and you have one intact eye.
And I'll drop the fang and eye into the ethanol that I got from Duster's Run.
Perfect.
And stow it away.
Okay.
All right, that's everything. We can go now.
Does this tunnel lead anywhere?
Which one?
Is this here?
That one? Yeah.
I'll ask. How further do we want to go? We want to make Sirtempti, but I'm also happy to go back if we found everything we came here for. And I'm worried about Nova.
I mean, that tunnel doesn't go back to the beginning. But yeah, where does this go?
I have no idea, but it's supposed to go back to the other one.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to go into the other room, so maybe it's
Okay.
yeah, the way
It's
it's
probably
set
just
up.
an artifact of multiverse, not.
I can get the owl through.
Yeah, I was gonna say the owl made it.
Okay.
Maybe you want to climb.
Ginge, while Axel was, I'm sure it took a little bit of time for him to take care of all that stuff.
Correct.
I would have liked to open up and just checked what that scroll is for.
Okay. KB. Woo!
I
just
made
slid
it.
right
I made
through.
it.
All right. So while he's kind of doing all this,
Yeah,
you are
slippery
going
little
to
guy.
look at the scroll that you took out.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. You spend like the 10 minutes or so that they're digging into these creatures and ripping. I mean, you can hear them like ripping the flesh apart and like carving things up and like the noises of carving into a creature. And after a while, you have a scroll of greater restoration.
Perfect. I will then, once Axel has everything, I might have something you're interested in. And I will kind of sheepishly, with a sheepish grin, pull out a scroll from my backpack and this should be able to heal Nova.
Very convenient. Okay.
I don't trust myself to use it. I'm gonna give it to Evelyn.
What do you mean you don't
She
trust
can probably
yourself to
better.
use it?
I know a little bit of healing, but this is beyond my capabilities. And I'll hand the scroll to Evelyn.
Well, you got the spell right there. Can you not? You can't do it?
Maybe someday I could learn to do it, but not right now.
Man, I still don't get any of this magic shit. How do you wrap your head around that is beyond me.
Various magic has different sources.
Well,
What gives
yeah.
Evelyn her magic is different than what gives me mine.
Well, you learned it, didn't you? Didn't she learn it too? I don't.
I didn't have to learn it the same way.
Do you think you can cast this?
I could try.
Really though, if you have a scroll for a spell, can you not cast it? I haven't used scrolls.
Oh, out of character, it has to be on your character's spell list to be able to cast it. And it is
But
not
I
on
can
the.
cast it because if I was higher level druid, I would be able to cast it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I was like. Okay, that makes sense. I've played casters before, but I've never used scrolls.
There am I.
Like you can't give it to a fighter and have them.
Yeah,
Just cast
right,
whatever. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Unless they multi-class.
Yeah.
Do it. That sounds like a terrible idea.
Why not?
probably fireball themselves in the face. Or something.
Well,
Yeah, I'll give Evelyn the scroll.
yeah. So I'll wait for Axel to open up the door.
Yeah, I will.
Man, how convenient.
Mm.
So nice.
It's almost like it was put there by
I think
someone.
we should just save the scroll for a
Okay.
more opportune moment.
Fine with me.
The fuck?
It was a double-edged sword. Maybe.
Wait, where did you find
I
the
was-
scroll again?
On a body over in this room.
Somebody.
Oh.
Somebody
The-
came
the-
prepared.
The party
Someone
that
came
had
to help someone.
well, the party that had come down here, he was holding
Oh.
the scroll and he
It
was
was
holding
the-
a rolled up something. Not sure what it
Oh.
was. And it was that individual and two others and Erlane that were kind of like grouped around like
Hmm.
just above this basilisk that's on its own. And three of them were frozen and Erlane was poisoned and hurt really bad. So it looks like he had the scroll, meant to use it, something happened.
Got
Not sure.
petrified before he could.
Once
Or
I
he
give the
just
scroll to
Had
Once I give the
boned.
scroll to Evelyn, I'm gonna kind of wander away from the party and go back to where I found that scroll and look around through the rest of their party's stuff and make sure they didn't have anything else that could be useful.
Roll an investigation check as you hand off the scroll to Evelyn. As Axel finishes casting the doorway is open with Nova still standing in kind of her pose for casting that last spell that she cast.
I rolled a 9, but my passive investigation is 15.
Okay.
If that matters.
You don't find anything else. And what items you think you kind of see on the persons, it's petrified onto them. Like you see like a coin pouch that's on the side of like the three of them, but obviously it's part of them now.
Yep.
But the door is open before you, Evelyn, as you do see Novus kind of standing there.
I'll use the scroll to cast Greater Restoration on her.
Okay. She stands in the doorway, and you hear her begin to chant the scroll. And as she does, a smell of Evelyn would know the smell. The rest of you would be foreign, but the smell of like heavy pines, like early spring heavy pines, where it's like super fresh. And like maple leaves and kind of like a sweet breeze sweeps through the air. Very soothing as you watch pieces of Nova kind of crumble and fall away. And after about 20 to 30 seconds, Nova, you find yourself standing there kind of casting, and you just kind of slump, like your body kind of gives way with this pure exhaustion.
And then I'm still in the little demi-plane doorway, right?
Yep, you're just standing in the doorway as like everybody's as Evelyn's like through like 2 or 3 steps in front of you, and then the rest of the group is kind of in a semicircle around that, and then you don't even see Sophia.
So I just kind of drop my arms and let out a breath and look around like, what the fuck? Why am I in here?
Well,
You got petrified. We were planning to move you, but luckily we found something to fix you up quicker.
Damn.
lucky for us, I guess the people who weren't so lucky before us came more prepared than we did.
A good thing. I'm gonna kind of walk out of the demi-plane. Did we get everything?
Yeah.
Alright, let's get the hell out of this place then.
Agreed.
Don't have to tell me twice.
And then I'm gonna, as I'm walking, I'm gonna look at Evelyn. Because I imagine, well, actually, would I even know that she casted that? Probably not.
You
You just said
wouldn't
we found something.
really know, but like coming to, you would get kind of the end of the spell, and you would kind of smell that like evergreen maples sweet spell, and Evelyn kind of standing in front of you holding the scroll, that as she speaks the final words and the spell goes through, the piece of paper basically just kind of like disintegrates from the bottom up and turns to ash in her hand.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, that smells so good. Probably like if we could capture that
It
in
smells like
something
home.
solid
bottle it.
and like make it into, like wax. You could burn it, and then it would smell like that, and we could sell it.
Yeah.
Imagine.
We could call the store Works and Bath.
Guys, we could be doing a much safer job.
Easy.
For real. This is $1 million idea.
Well, now we have maple scented candles and hypnotic pattern bombs.
Yeah, it's
Could you imagine?
God.
Hypnotic pattern glyphs of warding.
Yeah, bath bombs. You put them in your bath bomb and you trip ass for like
Yeah.
an hour. You're just
You're
in there
really
just
relaxed.
It only lasts for a minute, but it's the greatest trip of your life.
the greatest minute. It's
It's
the
the
greatest
new
minute
bath
ever.
salts.
Not only do you come out smelling amazing, but you had a fucking trip. And you can
Color.
designate it too.
Yeah.
The magician on hand who makes the bath bomb can specify your journey.
True, because they create the sensation.
We can even make it your favorite color.
My
Exactly.
God.
Ginge, is Erlane still there?
You guys, as you guys come around the corner back into the main entrance, Erlane has come down from the bed and she's kind of sitting on the stairs. She seems to be pulling something out of her pack and she's kind of like munching on like some jerky or something.
Are you good enough to walk?
Yeah. Yeah, I do believe so. I did rest a little bit and I was just eating some fruit, to try and get a little bit more of my strength back.
I'm sorry about your friends.
Yeah, yeah, they were good people, but hopefully they'll rest well.
I mean, we just get somebody who knows how to make potions or some shit. Can't we get them out?
Possibly. They were all bitten before they got petrified, so
Oh.
I don't know what the effects of that are, if they're just frozen in time or if they're slowly dying and turning to mush as we speak. I don't really have a way to help them though.
Sophia's gonna awkwardly look at her down at her feet. Well, if you're
Well,
good
hey.
enough to walk, you can head out with us. Otherwise, our friend here could carry you back.
I'm gonna have to burden you, and she kind of points down at her legs, and they're still kind of like angled and like really fucked up.
Oh.
I'm still pretty injured. I seem to have broken both bones in my legs. The fall was pretty bad. We're not
I'll
really
look
sure
at-
what was happening, but we fell through the ceiling, and we found ourselves there.
Wait.
I'll call over to Axel and can you do the same thing you were gonna do with Nova?
What do you mean?
You know, use your black cylinder thing.
Can I healing word her? Would that
She
fix her
can't
leg?
walk. And we
She
can't
knows
leave her
her
down
leg?
here.
I don't know.
You can.
Do I know if it would fix her legs?
That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna say this. It'll heal her, but the left leg, it will mostly heal. It is not as broken. The right leg looks like the bone has completely broken. It will heal over time, but it'll have to be like 4 or 5 healing words to like get it to fuse. You know what I mean? Like,
You gotta set it right first.
yeah, like the left leg, it's busted a little bit, but you feel like with that you could get at least the left leg healed enough where she could lean on it or walk on it. The right leg is gonna take time.
Anybody
Well,
know
let's-
mending? I doubt that would work.
We'll fix the one leg, I guess.
Dear Jeremy Crawford, can you cast mending on a broken leg?
Probably could, but I'm gonna say no. It probably would hurt really bad.
I was gonna say it'd probably be excruciating.
Yeah. But you do cast Healing Word on the left leg. You cast it, and it heals it enough that you do watch kind of the skin like bruising and like the swelling goes down, and you watch she kind of like winces and like grits her teeth as the left leg seems to kind of set itself. Like it must have been like a minor break or something of that nature, and you can see as she kind of like wiggles her feet and like puts a little pressure on the left leg, but the right leg looks pretty mangled. She kind of gets up against one of the beams and she pulls herself up onto her left foot, and you kind of watch as she kind of like hobbles a little bit and she kind of holds herself up. Well, it looks like I can at least lean on it. If somebody could give me a hand or a stick or something, I
Yeah,
could probably hobble.
I got you.
All right, and she puts her like arm up over your side and kind of begins to like jump around on the left leg.
All right. Let's fucking skedaddle.
Perfect. All right.
While that's happening, I'm gonna walk up to Axel and kind of slowly rest my forehead against his arm and sigh. I forgot to look away. Sorry.
I was expecting at least one of us to get petrified, so I came prepared. No big deal.
Yeah, thankfully it wasn't a big deal. Still, I knew the plan and I completely forgot that we weren't supposed to look at them. In character and out of character.
We all kind of forgot.
I did. I'm like, oh, I forgot. I kept forgetting to say I avert my gaze at the end of each turn. And I was like, fucking hell.
It didn't matter because they surprised us.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
this is
We
true.
weren't able to look away. Once you get the like, I think once you look at it once, you're kind of fucked.
Oh,
Unless you save.
Well, yeah.
damn. Okay. Well, either way.
I set a trap.
Of course you did.
That much was clear.
Motherfucker.
Get fucked.
Asshole.
Get fucked.
Nerd. I know Axel knows too much. Fuck that guy.
I know just enough.
But you guys do manage to begin to hobble your way out of the mine shaft, with Erlane kind of leaning on patience.
What exactly did you guys mean to come down here? Or would...
No,
How'd
we
you-
were actually exploring the mine shafts above, and
Oh, shit.
we ran into some unexpected trouble, which resulted in the cave floor giving way, and we fell. I don't know how far and how long. But when I came to consciousness, my party members were already in the state that they were in, and the basilisk was feeding on one of them, and I was bitten at that point. And I did my best to put myself in the state that maybe the basilisk would leave me alone and I could get myself to a point that I could crawl away. I wasn't really sure.
I guess he was too busy eating one of your pals to come after you, eh?
Unfortunately, probably.
I assume you were exploring a mine of one of the what's the place called? Hammer, one of Molten Hammer's mines.
We are in
Yeah,
favor.
we
Right.
were kind of looking around, and we had been hired by one of the families in town to investigate deep into one of their mine shafts to get rid of some monsters that were kind of wandering around, and that's where we found ourselves.
That doesn't sound too unfamiliar.
Yeah. Interesting.
Vote to leave her here to die.
She's lying to us. Kill her.
Is that a character?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
We are vacating the mines, hobbling at a slow pace with an injured individual.
We gotta get back on the train to get out.
Yarp.
The subway, if you will.
Axel, can you carry that thing with somebody inside it? I'll say that outside of Elaine's, away from Elaine.
Yeah.
Could the party go inside it while one of us is invisible carrying it?
Theoretically.
We should keep that in mind for the next time we need to enter somewhere and need a way for us to get past someone.
Perhaps, but it has a limited number of charges per day. And I always need to make sure to keep one of them active for when Nova and I go to sleep.
Oh, that makes sense.
But if we have a spare, I'll consider the idea.
Such a dick.
Sophia just kind of shrugs and
It's
walks
like, well,
away.
you don't have to sleep in there. You could just not sleep in there.
Yeah, so Sophia kind of gives off that vibe as she walks away, like, I guess that makes sense.
I can see how that could make sense to you, sure.
Yeah.
Literally that.
So as you guys make your way back out into the mine shaft, you see kind of a lever that's out by the tramway, and yeah, you guys are kind of standing out there, waiting, or not waiting, but staring at this kind of empty tram road, with like 3 or 4 different tracks on it, and
Pull the lever, Gronk.
Wrong lever!
Yeah, pull the lever.
Oh, sorry, Yzma.
pull the lever.
Keep your hands
And,
inside the
uh,
ride at all
Lever.
times.
Several
I
moments
always
later,
get them confused.
you hear the like grinding of like a kind of like a transportation minecart. As
The
it
sound
stops
of
in front
grinding,
your
you know what I
door.
mean?
Sound of grinding, aka funk music. On that, turn that mindset into a grind set.
God. But you do board. You board. I'm assuming you board this minecart. And within the minecart, there's a lever right in the center that you guys can pull and continue on.
Pull the lever.
You pull. the
Continue
lever,
on, or can we go back?
Or you can go back, or you can continue on.
No, we're going back to the entrance.
Yeah.
So
It's like, no.
Yeah,
We're
so
going back.
is go back.
I don't know. It ain't my
the
journey.
the literal DM rails, because we were on rails.
Railroading.
I ain't. You guys can do whatever you want. I'm just
No,
here
no,
to
no.
tell a story.
Nah.
So,
We
What we
proceed.
do here is go back,
What
back.
we do
back,
here
back,
is
back.
go back.
So, you guys head back to the main section where everybody's kind of coming and going into the different mine shafts. You have the transfer stations in each one of the lines. And you do notice on the far left side, there's kind of an exit line. And as you're going through, you do notice people are kind of being checked as they walked back through this like giant gate. They're just, the guards aren't like stopping people individually, but they're just kind of looking at people to see if like, they're bringing something back through that's like a bomb or whatever. Like it's like TSA. Like they're just looking at you as you guys go through this gate. Easily enough, you guys walk back through the gate. They do notice you guys helping Erlang kind of walk back through, and you're hobbling. They kind of give you guys a nod, but nobody stops you, and you're able to walk back through easily. You make your way back to the main elevator, and you guys can head all the way back to the very first floor or the second.
The primary ring, you mean?
Yes.
I want to look up. Has the nighttime skylight for Molten Hammer been activated yet?
It looks to be.
Okay.
You guys have been down there for a while. I mean, it's not okay. So I should clarify. It's not fully activated from what you can tell. It looks like the dome that they use to like make it look like night is beginning to kind of ascend. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a dusk, kind of. Like you can see the night sky being like pulled like above to make to create the night sky.
Okay.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't
Don't
be
be suspicious.
Don't be
I'm gonna
suspicious.
press the fourth ring one then.
Fourth
Do you want to?
Ooh.
Fourth ring.
Yeah, I never
Ooh.
finished this, so.
I mean, third
Yeah.
ring.
Primary
No, the
rings.
fourth ring where the marbled spire is.
That's getting really loud.
Sorry. I don't know if I
like
can turn. There we go.
Where's Patience going? Patience is out of here.
She gone.
I'm about to no clip out of bounds.
Yeah, I started and gave up. But
This is huge.
you guys came up and into it, and as you did, the mine shaft opens, and you guys find yourself on the level of the marbled spire. Basically, the residential area for pretty much the people of Molten Hammer.
I'll start heading to the marbled spire.
I will follow.
All right.
I need 2 minutes. I'm being
That's
summoned to
We get to go back to the library?
get a bug off the ceiling.
Jeez.
Perfect. I need to get some water. I will be right back.
Get him.
Isn't
Yeah.
the marbled spire on the second ring?
No, fourth.
Because the fourth ring is the last one. There's 4 rings, right?
Yeah, fourth ring is castle and accompanying forest, only royalty allowed, but we were told the marbled spire was also here when we first got introduced to it.
Oh, gotcha.
The city archives.
I had that in my notes. It's the second ring. I'm gonna move that. You're right. Sorry, I knew it was on a different ring. That was the third ring. I didn't realize you'd been to the last ring.
What? So there's 3 rings and then a circle in the center.
Well, I thought the third ring had the the marbled spire. I didn't realize we'd been to the 4th ring
Oh.
before.
Oh no, you're right. I was reading my notes wrong. The city archives is on the 3rd ring.
Okay, my notes were wrong too. I had the marbled spire in the 2nd ring on my notes. But I'm like, oh, that's wrong too.
Yeah, this is what I have.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have too.
My notes were not wrong because I didn't take any.
Same. Can't be.
It was a ladybug.
Are you serious? Oh
I
my
love that. I love that
God.
woman, but like sometimes.
So, Ginge, Frosty argued it was the 4th ring. I argued it was the 2nd ring, and we've concluded that we actually wanted to go to the 3rd ring. So.
Yeah, we're going to the 3rd.
Yeah.
We met in the middle.
So
You compromised.
I will help you out here a little bit. Control hammer ring. All right. The first ring is commerce, primarily inns, bars, establishments, so forth. The upper ring, 2nd ring, residential living areas, nobles, those with money live on the west side of the ring. The lower ring, the 3rd ring, is the high-end nobles, those who work directly with the royalty or hold special lands, mining facilities, whatnot, and the marbled spire. The primary ring is the 4th ring. That is the castle, forest, gigantic rocks, lava flowing all over the buildings, whatnot. So only royalty usually and or those of like high ranking are allowed. So yes, you are heading towards the 3rd ring. Back into my thing here. Here we go. All right. So, you begin to you guys are kind of following Axel, with Erlang kind of hobbling behind you guys, as you are slowly making your way towards the marbled spire.
Are we taking her with us?
I mean, I'm going here regardless. You.
Well, I mean, I'm coming with you. I just was curious.
Yeah.
We're
I
gonna
mean,
just,
whatever
like, make
decision
her
they
hobble
make,
around.
they can make that decision.
Wait a minute. Where are you going?
The marbled spire.
Yeah, but like, to do what?
Do you not remember that time is of the essence here, or do you want your soul stolen?
Oh, I was
going-
acting out of character.
I'm going to deliver the fangs to Ufrin. It's still evening, so she should still be there.
Right.
I'll point Elaine to the. You should go to the first level.
I was actually just gonna say I do have an inn up there, and I'll manage the rest of the way. Could you just hand me that stick right there? And it's kind of an elongated stick. I'll use it as a crutch.
Stick.
I should be fine.
Stick again. Stick and give.
I haven't elongated.
It was only a matter of time.
I greatly appreciate everything that you have done for me. In case we meet again, what's your names? Or your
Oh yeah,
group?
I guess we didn't do introductions yet, didn't we? Not on the
She knows
long
my
ride
name.
out of that place.
She knows my name.
I mean, if you don't want to give it to me, that's
No.
totally fine. I understand
it's-
that.
It's fine. I just could have sworn I said something already, but I guess I didn't. I'm Patience.
Nice to meet you. I'm Erlane.
Sophia.
Sophia, nice to meet you.
You already know mine, because I introduced myself, yeah.
She's kind of looking at Axel as he's like standing at the very far end of you guys, like kind of semi doing that, like, you know, he's like turning around, like walking towards the marbled spire, like walking back towards the group, walking back towards the marbled spire, like, okay, like, are we doing this?
I'll mind link with her and say, he's Axel. We're in a little bit of a hurry.
She kind of smiles.
So I'm Mr. Sweat.
Mr. Sweat. Interesting name, but it's very nice to meet you, Sweat.
It's SWET.
And
You know,
she kind
not
of,
like your body sweat.
oh, I don't understand, but it's a very nice name.
Oh, yeah.
And she kind of stands back up onto her crutch and she leans in towards Evelyn. And what would your name be?
I'll tell her my name.
Okay. And she reaches out with both hands and grabs your hand, and you feel kind of a like a warmth, and a good berry shows up in your hand. It's always nice to meet somebody else like myself. Hopefully I'll see you around.
She could just tell.
Ah, a homie.
A homie.
I sense your love for nature and for those around you. I could
She could smell the maple syrup.
and she kind of like looks down to the kind of like your hip. I can see that you were picking those mushrooms. I will tell you, the green ones, they're poisonous. Don't do anything with those ones. The blue ones, though, actually go really, really, really good over a fire in the morning. But, you know, you have a great evening, and it was very nice meeting the rest of you. I do hope that I run into you again. I am heading towards Voyaris. You know, so hopefully we'll see you soon.
Wait. Does she know anything about the strange plants? Like if I show her my little science experiment that I'm growing?
Oh, she looks at you and kind of like furrows her brow.
Is that a genuine hope that she's
like-
expressing, or is that like a sorry?
Oh no, that's fine.
Finish that thought.
She kind of like furrows her brow and like rotates it in her hand. Looks back up at you and... What is this?
A plant attached to food.
I see that. Where did you get this?
Right here.
What do you know about it?
I'm gonna nudge Nova.
Not a whole lot. I have noticed it, kind of growing in the wild and the little bits around. It's a plant I did find. I found in the mountains above Molten Hammer here, and it's a very curious plant. Parasitic, seems to like to attach itself to things. And it kind of just embeds itself. Haven't seen it really cause any harm or do anything else weird beyond that. I think it pretty much just uses its host as food to grow. But that's all I've really been able to discover about it. How much have you been able to look into this very curious creature?
Well, you know more than I do.
Well,
Sophia nudges
Does she
Nova.
seem like alarmed? Yeah, Sophia like nudges Nova with her elbow.
I'm gonna look at you.
she seemed what?
Did she seem alarmed by this question?
Roll an insight.
I don't trust her.
That's not nice.
19.
19? Where is things? There it is. What'd you ask now again? Sorry.
I was
She
doing an
seemed
insight
alarmed?
check.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was. Did she seem alarmed by that question? And is she? I guess I'm suspicious of her. Is she hiding something with her answer?
Dang it, yeah, it's just gonna be hard to type out. She doesn't give off like suspicious or like alarm, more like intrigue and letting on a little bit more than maybe she knows a little bit more than what she's letting on.
But I'm not suspicious of her. Okay.
Yeah. She seems to just know about the plan a little bit more, and it's just intriguing to her, and she was kind of curious as to what Evelyn had found out. Do me a favor, Evelyn. If you find anything else out, do you have I don't know if you have a way to contact me, but I would really appreciate it if you contacted me somehow and gave me
offer go
more.
both ways?
What's up?
Does that offer go both ways?
Of course. I would love to share any kind of research I can make towards this and any kind of research that you have towards it. It's very intriguing. I've run into it and done some tests of my own, with different results, and yeah. But I will leave you be, as I can tell, and she kind of looks up in Axel's direction. I think he's a little annoyed that I'm still talking and wants to be somewhere now.
Yeah, I mean, he usually seems like he has fire ants in his pants, but
That sounds very uncomfortable. Does he know that fire ants in your pants, you're not supposed to put them there, and usually fire ants they're more of a social creature. They usually like to stay to their own. They get agitated if you pick them up in bundles away from the queen. Does he know that?
no, but that sounds just like him. Maybe.
Yeah, I would probably let him know that that's not a smart thing.
A rant about ants in your pants.
It's very nice meeting you, though. I hope to talk again sometime very soon.
I'll go catch up with them.
Okay. She kind of sits back down on the bench as you guys are walking away. But you guys are now making your way towards the Marbled Spire. You guys have several moments before you get there. Is there anything you would like to discuss on this small walk?
I'll be a little ways ahead with Axel.
Okay. Okay. After several moments, you find yourself coming to the large cathedral-style library that is the Marbled Spire. After several moments, and we'll expedite the process. As you guys have been here before, you walk through the giant doors. You make your way up the side doors. You do notice as most people are kind of leaving at this point of the day, but the avid bookworm is set in off to corners here and there with stacks and stacks and stacks of books. You make your way in through the marble doors, up the staircase, from the staircase to the left. You take the elevator up to the second floor, from the second floor down the hallway, through the stairs, up the flight of stairs, down the next hallway, back towards the front of the building. You hop another set of stairways, up and around and down another hallway. And from there, you make your way down the known hallway that is the records and titles and keepings where Nathaniel is. You do see a little sign on his desk that does say, you know, out for the day. And you make your way through the millions and millions of rows, well, not millions, but hundreds of rows of books. As you make your way down to the double-sided doors, the giant double-sided doors that seem to be slightly open at this point.
I will knock on.
With a slow glow coming through the crack in the doorway.
I'll now knock on her very large, opulent office doors just to announce my presence.
Enter.
Now we'll open them up and go in.
You see a gnomish female dressed in elaborate blues with like a velvet red kind of like sash that hangs over the front of the this like dress slash like suit looking thing. Sitting kind of at her desk, and she seems to have a little drink to her right, with the fireplace roaring to her far right. Ah. It looks like the group has made their way back here, has they not? Have you brought my prize?
Yeah, we got it. And I'll walk up to her desk and set down the bottle of ethanol full of the fangs and eyes. Don't mind the eyes; those are for a personal project.
I see. She reaches forward, sets her drink down, opens up tilts it upwards, opens up the ethanol, and takes out the tooth. Well, it'll do. Poor shape, but it'll do for what I'm gonna use it for. And she kind of sets it off to the side, and you watch as she waves her hand, and the tooth kind of apparates into thin air and disappears. Difficult. You guys look a little beat up.
Wasn't given up without a fight. That's what you're
Course,
asking.
Of course. I'm just so happy that you... are all of you coming in, or just Axel and Patience?
I came in.
I will too. Yeah.
Okay. She kind of stands up and grabs her drink and walks around the table, looking at each one of the group. I'm just glad that you all were able to make it out safely. You know, you never know what happens in those dungeons and mines, and horrible things happen. Just glad everything worked out.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, your concern is very moving. But are we done here? Or are you going to contact us again in a day or two with something else to do?
Actually, it's perfect timing. I do have something for you to do. Think of it as my last item for you to, for your contract. If everything goes well, of course. Which, you did such a splendid job with this one. I don't see this other one being an issue for you at all. It's just a little bit of a delivery. That's all it is.
A delivery, you say?
A delivery, of course.
All right. And what am I taking? And to who? Or to where?
To
kind
whom?
of she sits up on the table, crosses her legs.
Yeah.
Like she pops herself up onto her desk, the tiny little gnome. Pops up onto the desk, crosses her leg with a drink. And to her right is a parchment paper, or like a letter, sealed, like wax sealed, and she kind of slides it across the table. Open this when you've left here, and This will give you all the details that you need for your next adventure.
Is there any particular reason I can't open it right now?
Because I'm here and I don't want to hear the details. I've already written them, and I'm getting ready to leave for the day anyways. I'm just enjoying myself a little drink. And then I'm going home myself.
And in case you've forgotten, it's potentially dangerous to open it within prying eyes because, as per the terms of our contract, we shouldn't probably let the true identity of our benefactor be known.
Thank you so very much. At least there's one of you among this group who's semi-smart. Oh, the things I could have done with you if you'd signed the contract. You're such a smart little puppy.
I like
Yeah,
scowl at her.
because I'm very sure you would have done that, what with demons and devils being arch enemies and all.
Well, I wouldn't say enemies. We don't get along. Let's just put it at that.
You got that right, Ash Breath. And I'll walk forward and quickly snatch up the letter and
You
turn
kind
to
of
exit.
see, like, her eye, like, do, like, a little twitch and, like, a little tiny vein, and she kind of, like, yes. Ash breath.
And once I snatched it up, I'll turn to leave.
And I hastily follow behind.
You just watch as you, like, as you kind of, like, leave and you look over her shoulder, she's, like, tapping her foot in midair. Just, like, sitting on the edge of her little desk, watching you guys leave.
Does she have a pen or anything like lying out on the table?
Yeah, she's got, like, a quill.
I want to take the pen.
You're just gonna lean over and take the quill?
Just to fuck with her, yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. She, like, reaches down and, like, grabs your wrist. Excuse me. That would be mine.
Alright.
You're no fun. Put it back.
Of course I'm no fun. Why would I give you my quill?
I'm already walking out the door.
Just so you know, hyenas are actually closer to cats than dogs, but bye.
What's that?
Did she?
You know,
And then she said, well,
hyenas are
bye.
actually closer to dogs or cats than dogs, but bye.
But are they considered felids? Or
They're
the
part
canids?
of the canids, but they're actually genetically closer to cats.
Correct.
And it was more
Evelyn.
a running joke if she keeps calling him a puppy, and Evelyn, being a nerd, was like, oh, well, actually.
Closer to a
Well,
cat
it's a
than a
good-
dog.
it's-
Okay, bye.
Well, it's a good thing that the name Furball is fuck, what's the taxonomically agnostic. Boom.
Yes.
Got it.
Bye, friend. I'm outdoor with Axel.
Okie dokie.
Patience fucking with Ufrin. Evelyn making comments about the accuracy of things Ufrin says.
Well, she left the room before I got to say it last time. So now she just messed it up twice. She can't help it. She's gotta be...
Tailspin.
Like, you work in this library, rent a book every now and again. Okay.
Apparently, female hyenas have penises.
Very
Did
large
you-
ones.
Did
actually.
you
Sorry.
let me guess, you heard that, went to look it up, and now you're like scrolling the rest of the page to learn
No,
more
if you-
interesting hyena
If
facts.
you really
huh?
want to get into the weeds, Michael, it's not actually a penis, so keep reading.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they are the females are actually the leaders of the
leaders,
packs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
All
are.
female spotted hyenas have functional penises. They use it to pee, signal, and anally mount males and
It's
females.
not actually a penis. They call
No.
it that because of. Yeah, just Just keep reading.
No, I don't need to read anymore. Remove enough of the.
I'll
what
watch
was
the,
this?
the Discovery
Yeah,
Channel.
It's
Animal
Well,
Target.
Well, if there's a section cut out of the VOD, only a few of us will know why.
I mean, this
National
is for
Geographic.
educational purposes. Family approved.
True.
Listen, the point is, she's not as smart as she thinks she is.
Exactly. Once we're out the door, is Axel just gonna keep walking? Or is he gonna stop to read it?
I mean,
Is there anybody on the street right now?
You're in the Marbled Spire still. I would say you're like 3 minutes. You're like in between all the bookcases, and from what you can see, nobody's around you right now.
Do you want to go back to the demi-plane to read it?
We're gonna have to let everyone else know anyway.
Well, I mean, if it's safe to read it out here.
How many people can go in there at once? Is there a limit to how many can go in?
It's a good question.
Looking around, and not even bothering to answer that question, seeing that there's nobody around, I'll open it up.
Open the letter. Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening, Motley Crew. Your task is 2 days from now. You are to meet with a contact at. Where is my Pip Butterberg? Radar. Montenhammer.
Better not be Valerius.
Better not be hell.
Oh, I have a feeling I know where it is.
We are going to
It's gotta be in the desert.
around the highway to hell.
You are to meet a contact of mine at the Miner's Cap 2 days from now. He will meet you on the backside of the Miner's Cap. The code word is fires shall be cleansed. Upon doing so, you will pick up a chest, large chest, that you will use to transport to the sleeping oasis. Upon delivery, you are to hand off 2 individuals that will give you the code word. Upon the sands, all will be cleansed. Upon that, you're free from the remainder of your mission. I will give you a stone. Within the stone, and you see like on the bottom of the letter, like a very flat piece of like, almost like a skipping stone, like a lake stone. You see like a little stone with one symbol on it. Once you have completed and finished your mission, you are to squeeze this in between your finger and thumb, and it will allow you to speak to me for 30 seconds and relay that everything is complete. Per your contract, the chest is not to be opened, tampered, messed with, per the contract, the contents of the chest are not to be defiled or lost. Upon doing so, we'll end said contract, and I will collect henceforth.
And that's it.
That's it.
So as Axel, he doesn't read it out loud as he reads it over. Not much changes for anybody except for Nova. She's been with Axel long enough to read his telltale signs. of his mood changing. You could tell that his pupils sort of dilate and his fur starts to stand up on end. And you could tell that he's mainly trying to keep it in because they're in a library, but you more than likely know what the letter says from his demeanor.
I'm gonna put my hand on his arm and kind of keep my eyes on his face. So, to the desert then?
Yeah, to the desert.
I kind of furrow my brows and sigh. Well, guess we kind of almost expected it, right?
He sort of just shrugs indignantly, I guess.
I rub his arm a little bit. We'll think out a really good plan, don't worry about it.
I'll leave it to you. What you said before, right? You have to make them understand that if they don't listen to me, then there's gonna be consequences.
I will. It'll be okay.
I mean, we're right here.
Well,
You can just say that.
as good a time than any. It looks like we have to go into the wastelands. And Axel knows the area better than any of us and is well acquainted with the dangers and everything that we could possibly face out there. And we can't waver for a moment, and it's important that we do exactly what he says when he says without question.
If you really don't want to go to the, if you don't want to go to the desert so bad, then I'm gonna turn away from Nova and look at Axel. Why are you going back?
Because, and he sort of gestures to Nova, if you remember correctly, she said that she wasn't gonna let your sister here take on this burden alone. And if she's going, then I'm going. So no, I would rather be doing anything else than going back, but I have to.
Sophia will kind of have a weird look on her face, look back at Nova, and just... Thank you then.
I'm gonna give a very
We
soft
below
nod.
you.
Well, I mean, Patience put her life on the line to make sure that we didn't die. But that's why it's important that for this, to ensure that nothing goes wrong. It's very dangerous there. We have to... Axel's gonna lead us, but we have to listen to him, and we can't question anything. Hesitation, mistakes, things like that can't happen out there.
Sophia will nod her head.
All right.
Beast.
I'm gonna look at Axel. So, we have to go to the desert. Does it say when?
We'll be meeting with a contact in 2 days to get some more information.
All right.
I mean, I'm the only one who's really got to do any of this stuff. If you guys don't want to do that, I can get the goods.
Yeah, and
You're not going to the
alone-
desert by yourself.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna go to the. I mean, to go to get them so we could take them.
Well, you're not doing that by yourself either.
Well, I mean, at any rate, it's probably better that we, maybe one or two of us go. Three
I think-
absolute max.
I think I'm more than capable of handling it. Because if I recall, last time you went off on your own to do something, you got kidnapped in Kaylor and I had to sniff you halfway across the city.
Okay, yeah, but that time my fucking soul wasn't on the line, so this time's a little different.
Forgive me for believing that you would fuck it up. Must be a pattern. And he starts to walk out of the spire.
Oh my god.
You know what? Not even worth it.
It's not even worth firing back because you know I'm right.
No, it's not even worth the energy to be angry.
I'm gonna grab Patience's wrist and just tug her back. Oh, actually, the last time we went off our own, yeah, you beat me in a bet against a stupid sporting event. But Axel, heavens.
I mean, he's not wrong. I'm just saying, a big group is going to attract attention. If one or two of us go to get the goods, you know, that's how handoffs usually go. We don't take the whole fucking cadre in there.
And let Axel go by himself.
Nah, look, I took the shit on. I'm seeing this through. All right,
I'm gonna lower my voice and make sure nobody else can hear it.
I would have walked off with Axel, so you're good.
Patience, you realize Axel just does whatever Nova says. He's never done anything different. He's not going to fuck things up or betray us. He doesn't have it in him. We don't need to worry about it.
That's not it.
Well, let him do it then. Let him get the package. If he can't handle it and someone dies from it, better be him than us. To be fair, if he messes it up, then we probably would have as well.
That's not what I mean. I mean, I signed the dotted line.
And that was enough.
I'm the one who's got shit at stake.
Let the others help us. We've saved them, they've saved us. We're in this together. You did a huge thing by taking that for us. You've already done more than the rest of us can say combined. I don't like it either, but we have to admit that having them around is helpful. And they,
I'm not
for
saying
whatever
it's
reason,
not,
want
I'm
to
just-
stick with us. But if you're really worried about it, I'm happy to go there with you. We can go off together before Axel gets there and do it ourselves. If that's what you want to do, I'm with you. But you're a fool to think I'm letting you go there by yourself.
I've been by myself to...
Meta pigeon. They don't know who
What?
they're meeting. They don't know the details.
Yeah, keep in mind, I didn't say where the contact was.
Axel's got the
That's-
scroll. Meta pigeon.
That is true.
He didn't tell me, the person who's actually got shit.
No, all he said
I'm
is,
gonna
remember the
somebody's
I
ass.
said what I said.
I suggested the desert based on what I was reading from his reaction, and then he said we're meeting somebody in 2 days. That's the only details he gave.
Fucking hell.
I say what I say,
Fucking
never
hell,
never
man.
anything more than that. Should know this by now.
Yeah, we do. Well, never mind, I'll stop talking.
Guess there's nothing more to say. What's that?
Okay. Fuck. We're not supposed to play.
So you guys kind of
Yeah, we'll just let Axel do it.
Whatever.
Or you don't have to. I just meant you didn't. He has this.
Well,
they
that
only give
they
details.
left ahead and know everything, so.
Just a few
Patience and I will.
paces.
Guess unless somebody appraises me of the details of this operation, then it's just gonna be all on him.
I mean, if you want to ask, you're more than free to.
I mean,
Anyways,
yeah, I feel like I have the right to know. This is my fucking shit.
so
Well, then
you
go
find
do what your
yourself.
character would do, buddy. I'm not
Axel's
stopping
not
you.
there. You guys
I
walked
was
up.
gonna say, you guys are standing kind of in the bookcases, and you watch like 50 feet ish up. Axel kind of stops, opens a letter with his back. Well, you guys wouldn't see that, but his back's kind of turned to you. He stops, and you watch like this big breath in and kind of like a sigh. And he looks over at Nova. Nothing's being said, but they're just staring at each other. And you guys kind of close the distance in a matter of like 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, we weren't super far ahead.
What?
I said we weren't super far ahead.
Oh. Like 25 feet then. Like you guys are a little bit ahead.
Yeah, we were walking, weren't like
All right.
And then you stop.
actively.
You kind
running
of see
away.
him stop, and he has his back turned to you, and he looks down, reads something as you kind of come walking up on him. And as you're walking up on them, they kind of turn and they look at each other. And then nothing is said, but they're just staring at each other. And then you kind of come walking up.
Like I said, I don't have anything to say.
What? So, all right. So nobody's gonna tell me, the person whose soul is on the fucking line here, what's on that piece of paper?
I think I relayed everything pretty clearly.
No, you didn't. That was pretty fucking vague.
Well, maybe not clearly then, but everything necessary, I think.
Everything necessary for what? Don't you think Don't you think I should know exactly what the fuck is said?
In due course, when we actually have to do it.
In due fucking course. Give me that shit. I'm taking the paper.
Do you
I mean,
resist, Axel?
Oh yeah, I will resist.
Okay, roll off.
What do I
It
even roll for
it
this?
would be your dexterity versus.
You want to treat this as like a grapple check?
Yeah.
Okay, I will use athletics. Then.
Well, then can I use athletics?
What is the
Yeah, I think the
grapple? I think you can. Yeah, I think you can choose
Grapple.
athletics.
Yeah.
Baby,
25?
we go.
Oh, two really good rolls.
Okay, what do we got here? Hold on. Oh, baby,
They were both
Axel?
high rolls. Damn.
you have them. You have it like in between your fingers, and you got a pretty good fucking grip, and you're holding on to it, but patience is just quicker, and you catch you rip the bottom of the letter because you catch like a half moon shape of the end of the letter as patience just whap and pops it out of your hand. Patience, you have the letter. And Axel, you're holding like a tiny little piece of the end of the letter.
Just sort of look nonplussed there, careful not to damage anything. Wouldn't want to face recompense.
All right. So we're doing a handoff, I guess. All right. Who's going with me? Best if we go in a small group.
To the meeting place?
3 max. Yeah, 3 max. Me, and I'm assuming you, points at Axel.
Well, that's the three of us. You're not going by yourself. I'm not leaving you out of my sight. We know what happened last time, and I'm gonna look over at Axel.
Yeah, but I'm not letting Axel out of my sight. So that's 4.
Well, then I guess it's just the two of us. I'll look over
Yeah,
at
I'll look at Nova. That's fine. Let him go. If I have to clean up another mess again, it just means I have another thing to prove.
I think just for the handoff, that portion should hopefully be pretty straightforward. I would hope. I imagine.
Listen,
So was the last thing.
I know how to handle myself in these kind of situations, all right?
To make matters worse, the original contract only said we had to do one thing anyway. Why is she asking for another?
Technically,
Well,
it said it
as per
could
the
be one.
terms, clearly what we did was not to her satisfaction.
And the next thing's not going to be to her satisfaction.
Uh-huh.
And this time she's making sure that we're far away from her when she asks us to do something else, and we can't do anything about it.
Uh-huh. That's, yeah. Maybe your sister should have read the fine print.
Maybe I should have just let you die. How about that?
What was Evelyn gonna say?
I said technically it didn't say one thing, it just said it could be one thing. But like you said, it was to her satisfaction.
Well, apparently this wasn't to her satisfaction. Yet I don't know how we can do it any better. We went straight there, and Axel did do a good job of retrieving the item that we wanted, and we hurried back.
Well, I mean, it's not like there's any other choice other than to do what she says. At least for me.
Patience, would you be fine with Axel doing it? He should be the one that hears the details about where we're going and how we need to get there.
He can come.
We've already discussed that I'm not letting you go alone, and Nova's not letting Axel go alone. So we either bring 4 or Axel goes.
Well, but we won't be alone because we'll be together. Me and
Axel
him.
can be there. I'll look over at Nova.
I'm gonna have a very not enthused look on my face at this point.
Yeah,
with the
Sophia
back and
is-
forth. Ugh.
Can at least one of you two go then? And I'll look over at Evelyn and KB.
When's this meeting again?
2 days.
I could go in wild shape if we wanted to keep our numbers down. Or I could just go.
Oh, you mean send Evelyn and KB to do it?
No, Patience, Axel, and one of those two.
Alright.
You guys just let me know.
No offense, Nova, but I trust you'd put Axel first, and well, I'd put Patience first. And
Well, if everything goes according to plan, I guess.
nothing we've done has gone to
Nothing.
plan ever since we
Exactly.
left Omira.
That's true. Except getting them basilisk teeth.
Hmm.
Kinda. Sorta. A little bit. According to plan.
Well, fair enough. Well, that street food we ate was pretty tasty.
Look, all this boils down to, right? I took this shit on. I have to do this. I want to make sure that every step of the process is done perfectly right. Not that I don't think that he could get it done himself.
I understand.
For my fucking sanity, I need to make sure.
And that's why you should go. But I would like Axel to be there.
It's fine.
Axel knows what we're doing more than you do.
Just, and she looks at Axel. I don't know why you didn't tell me exactly what the details were immediately. Maybe you had some reason for that. But do you understand why I want to know?
Oh, I understand completely. It's a pretty normal reaction. But he starts to turn to walk away. If you count up the what's happened so far, you might come to notice that when I get told to do something, I do it. Can't say the same for you. And he'll start to exit the spire.
I'm gonna grab Axel's arm as he turns to leave.
He is.
Stop him from leaving. I'm not following. I'm grabbing to stop him from leaving.
Okay.
I'll look back at her.
I'm gonna have a little bit of a frustrated or agitated look on my face. Enough. We have been through so much, the group of us. And we have so much that we have to do still. And it's only going to get more dangerous and more difficult. I know the two of you butt heads. I'm gonna look at Patience after saying this to Axel. All the time. But we have to get past this, because if we're out in the desert and this is happening, it's going to get us hurt.
I believe that Axel knows more about the desert than any of us. And I trust that he will lead us in the right direction and do what needs to be done. But you and Axel keep a lot of secrets. And always keep things between yourselves that would be pertinent to the rest of us. Is that because you don't trust us? I mean, you're going to the desert to save us. I don't know why you always withhold so much information from us. The rest of us don't do that.
I don't withhold information.
Two of you talk between yourselves. We don't hear what you're saying, but we can tell you're doing it all of the time.
That's
And
just
you
because
sleep
we're
away from us
close.
every night.
You two speak privately all the time.
Yes, but we don't keep putting information away from you.
Who says I'm keeping pertinent information away from you?
When we fought the Basilisk, we had no idea what was going on. The two of you had some sort of plan, and the rest of us had no idea. We were going in there practically blind. In fact, if I hadn't asked, we wouldn't have even known to avert our gaze. Which, look how that helped.
Well, I knew.
Meta
too.
Pigeon here. I know we had a very long hiatus, but when we first arrived at the mines, I very clearly laid out what basilisk and bullets were
And
capable
Sophia
of.
wasn't listening.
Okay, so I'm gonna relay that. No, there was a very clear plan and information given, so everyone knew what to expect.
So why were you right near him?
To shine light.
And you didn't tell us that because...
That was part of the plan that was explained.
Sophia's gonna roll her eyes.
If you didn't hear it because you weren't around, that wasn't withholding information, that was you not hearing the information.
And going back to Patience's suggestion, why did you not tell us what was on the contract?
Out of character, you mean the scroll that we just got?
The scroll. Yeah, the scroll we just got.
We just got?
On the missive.
The missive.
You didn't ask.
You didn't think it would be important for us to know.
I told you I was going to tell you in 2 days.
Again, you're keeping secrets.
Pocket dimension level secrets.
I think it's just your lack of, no pun intended, patience.
It wasn't
Well,
withholding
I
information.
expressed what concerns me, and we feel, and I believe Patience does as well, that the two of you keep stuff from us that would be helpful. And I'm telling you how we feel, and until you change that, we're not going to fully trust you. You're worried about us trusting you and following you and obeying you, and you don't even give us the simple recognition of our concern. You just
Well,
I-
defend
so-
yourself. The two of you must not have dealt with very many people. The two of you
Haven't
stick among
actually.
yourself and expect everyone else to just be okay with how the two of you act. The world doesn't work that way.
Well, that's because you don't know much about me. You've never asked. You two keep secrets. It's really hard to trust and want to reveal everything when you don't feel it's the same on the other side of the table.
Well, this choice is up to you. You can decide if the two of you want to keep keeping secrets between yourselves and the two of us won't fully trust you. Or you can go out there of your way to be more transparent. That choice is yours.
That goes both ways. You can't stand here and demand information and transparency when you don't do the same.
Patience lets out a deep sigh, and first, what you might expect from her is it's out of frustration, but she probably looks more like exhausted than anything, and more so than probably you've ever seen her look. Just look. I wouldn't have signed that thing if on some level, if I didn't, care about you guys and you staying alive on some level. And it feels like even after that, there's still some lack of trust here, and I don't get it. And she looks at Axel, kind of brushing away the like exhaustedness, and looks at him not angrily or anything, but just sincerely. When we go there to the desert, I'm trusting that you're gonna get us through it. All I ask is that you trust me enough to, let me in on matters that concern me. All right? Can you do that?
He sort of shrugs lackadaisically. Do you want me to give you an answer that you'll like, or do you want me to lay it to you straight?
I don't know, man.
Yes.
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 Both. Whatever.
He walks really close to her and looks her right in the eyes. I figured it would be kind of obvious by now, but I don't trust you because whenever you've had to do something, you've done it wrong. So maybe do something right, and that bridge will start to be rebuilt.
I would have thought that, actually giving a shit about people for once and doing something that put myself at risk for the sake of other people, would have, counted towards that.
Actually, you've
Maybe
never
not.
once acknowledged what Patience did when she signed that contract, saving your life. Are you just too proud to admit that Patience saved your life?
He sort of like glances at her and smirks. I didn't need saving back then.
So we should have let your friend just kill you. Because certainly she would have.
Yeah,
Alright.
kill. That's
know-
that's what would have happened.
Just
Axel,
I don't know what more to say.
I would have died too.
I'm being more real right now than I think I've probably ever been with any of you, except Sophia. Why can't you meet me on the level? I'm just tired, man.
He just sort of shrugs again. I've laid out my reasons. If you're not happy with them, what is it they say on the streets? Oh yeah, tough luck.
Sigh again. Walks away.
We'll be right behind you. And I'm gonna walk off with Patience.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place right now.
I mean, I'm walking in the direction of out of the library.
Oh, okay. And then I'll turn back and instead say, we'll meet you at the beans. I'll make sure she gets there. And I'll chase after Patient.
She's not walking that fast.
That's fair.
Evelyn,
gonna-
Go get the
KB?
bite to. Let's go get the bite to eat.
Oh yeah, do Evelyn and KB. Go, go, go. I have an idea.
Nah, I'm not hungry. Yeah, what are Evelyn and KP doing during this exchange?
Drama sesh.
Yeah, Evelyn
They
and
just got the
KB.
fucking
Unresolved
popcorn.
Fucking
You're like
tension.
standing like 5 feet from like these two groups going at it.
That gif.
Anything?
I'm like the.
Or are you guys just standing there?
That gif.
I'm like
that
the. Yeah, I'm like the Tim Robinson's gif. Where it's like, I didn't do fucking shit.
Oh, I feel like I'm
gif,
looking at that. I'm looking at KV, looking at that. Like,
the gif that she
Okay, so
just
you're-
posted of the
yeah,
dog
I was
is
gonna
so
say.
fucking perfect, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
what the-
Evelyn.
looking at
Evelyn
it.
is Evelyn is just full.
now, if push comes to shove, I'm going with Patience and Sophia because Axel scares me.
As you should.
So
Um. Okay, so Patience and Sophia and Evelyn are going back to the beans.
yes,
Eventually, yeah.
Nova and Axel are going.
We're still standing
I don't
there.
even fucking know where they're going.
Nowhere at the moment. I was making way to leave, but then Nova stopped me. So now, right at the moment, I'm not going anywhere.
I think I think that KB will stay with them for two kind of snap decision. Two reasons: one, it makes for even numbers. Two, it
so
does sort of
rational.
it does sort of troll Axel a little bit because I'm assuming he wants to just be him and Nova there. So, I
Okay.
think KB
Okay.
sort of likes to do some light axle trolling has kind of become a hobby. So,
Maybe
I think,
we do a little
Third
troll.
wheel in it.
All right,
yeah.
the argument, the kind of back and forth, heated discussion, as Evelyn, you're just like, oh fuck, oh, and as you watch as Patience and Sophia kind of move off in the opposite direction with Sophia hand on her shoulder, and she looks back and I'll make sure I get her back at a decent time. And you guys kind of begin to turn the corner, and like Evelyn, you're just kind of like looking at Axel like, oh no, and you're like walking off with the two of them. KB just kind of like, okay, and like does like two little scooches like right next to Nova and Axel, and he just kind of looks up and like just stands there with the rest of the group. Yeah, the three of you kind of make your way around the corner looking for maybe something to eat, maybe something else to do, but often kind of the Beans general direction where the three of you now are just standing there.
Well, first I would ask Patience. We should go get something to eat first, please. Hey, do you good? Me as well.
I'm not hungry. Which is very uncharacteristic of her to say.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Can we at least go up to the ring and just walk around for a bit?
So, I guess.
I'll look at Evelyn.
You can come too.
I'm going.
Just like I'm just following. Just get me out of this tension.
I just got here, guys. Like, you
So-
got problems.
To
She's
social
new to the group
disarray.
dynamic.
My social anxiety. Oh
And
my
I'll
god.
just start kind of like explain to Evelyn.
When we first met Nova and Axel, Nova intrigued me. She knows magic that I just don't understand. Similar to you, you have all your nature spells. You know plants better than anyone. And well, Nova's the same way, just with her mind. And part of me was intrigued, and part of me was scared of her. And I've come to realize that Nova is not the scary one. It's Axel, but so he'll do anything that Nova says. And I trust Nova. Funnily enough.
Yeah, I grew up with animals and plants, and they don't keep secrets. So this is new.
Okay, so that's not just me that feels that they're constantly keeping things between themselves.
Which is like, I just feel like a pocket dimension was really big information.
Yeah. But as much as we don't want to admit it, we need their help.
I just keep looking at that fucking GIF, man, and I'm just over here laughing.
Enough of that. I'm gonna go get something to eat, and well, apparently you're not hungry, but well, that's okay.
Just a quick thing. I'm just thinking. You don't have like a bag of holding or anything, right?
No.
We don't know.
I have
Okay.
the portable hole, but yeah.
No, so point of reference, the entire time that this has been happening, Sophia, you're still carrying around that like large rolled up item.
I thought that fit in her, but I thought I got that from a backpack.
No, he was holding it. It's like
Oh,
it's like
shit.
it's like this big and like this thick.
Like a log.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
then
like a log.
I probably would have strapped
It's
that
about-
on. Like a
Yeah.
backpacker straps on a
Yeah. Okay. So it's
sleeping pad.
strapped on you, but I mean, it's heavy. It's heavy-ish.
I'm gonna kind of like. Oh, I'm
What
gonna.
is the item?
Patience, can you carry this for a sec? My back's starting to hurt.
One more thing on my plate.
Oof.
I'm just
Take
like
it.
point of reference for like if anybody is like, why the fuck is this strapped on Sophia's back or anything like that. Like she's been like carrying around this like I mean it's what this long and then like that thick.
Yeah, I guess I would have been carrying that in my arm. Yeah.
Yeah. So just if anybody was like, what the fuck is that? That's why.
Well, okay. Then since we were going by the beans anyway, I'm gonna stop and drop this off first, and then we'll head up.
So you guys begin to make your way back towards the beans. Axel's group.
Yeah, because we kind of mentioned that we were gonna go past the beans on the way.
Yeah, and you're relatively close.
Yeah.
Axel's group. Anything?
Yeah.
Yarp.
So, I'm gonna turn and fully face Axel. So, well aware that you don't trust Patience. Is it just because she makes the wrong decisions? Makes mistakes?
That's sort of it. Yeah.
So I can't help but wonder. How do you so fully trust me when I make so many mistakes?
Sort of looks at her quizzically. Because I made a promise.
So that promise defies the fact that I make mistakes? And you trust me even still?
He nods.
I kind of avert my gaze and think on that for a moment. We can't keep fighting like this. If we want to be an efficient group and have the least amount of problems.
That's a fair way of looking at it.
But I don't know how to help that. Because everyone's going to make mistakes. Even me.
Even him.
I'm not going to say that.
Maybe you should.
Yeah, but I'm not going to. Nova wouldn't say that. Even me. The group's going to make mistakes. Even me.
Wouldn't he be the most receptive of it coming from you?
You're
can let
trying to plant seeds and they're not going to grow because they're not in character. She would not say that.
Besides,
Nice try.
you don't know what mistakes Axel has made
Exactly.
and what dire consequences they've had.
Exactly. So she would not say that. She would just
I
say
can-
what mistakes she has made.
I can imagine.
I don't think you can. You think you
No.
can, but you can't.
So I will.
I don't know.
restate
My imagination's
point.
pretty good.
No, you don't understand how bad.
Fine.
Maybe
Anyway,
ask their backstory and things about them and conversation.
trying to move things in that direction. Why do you think I'm being nice for once?
It's trying. It's not working. So I will restate my point. Nova would
Anyway.
say everybody making mistakes in the group as well as her, but she would not reference Axel because I specifically chose not to.
Correct.
Yeah, that's true.
So how do we get past that? I don't want to force you to feel or act a way that you don't. I want you to be and feel how you want to. But I don't know how to get past this rift in the group that I feel like is just forever widening. And I'm well aware, by the way, out of character, that KB is totally listening in on this conversation, and I'm okay with it.
If there is if there is what you say, a rift forming, I assure you it's done no part by me. And I want to reiterate, like, during that entire conversation, Axel was not agitated or like angry in the slightest. He was, like I said, listless, lackadaisical. He was basically like vocally walking circles around patients.
Yeah, no, I got that every time he said it. He wasn't at any point being aggressive or mean. He was just being truthful. I'm not saying that you're creating a rift. I just know that there's this rift, there's this division, and I don't know how to bridge that gap. And I feel like on the other side, we have a very stubborn set that is set in their belief of our secrets, and those secrets making us not trustworthy, when really it's just when you're close to somebody, you naturally just have more history and understanding of each other, just as they do with each other, and they feel that has created some form of secrecy, which it hasn't, but I just don't know how to bridge that gap. And I don't want us to go into the wastelands being divided.
I will take out a flask that I always carry, and I'll take a sip, and I'll hand it to Nova first, and I'll ask Axel, do you think that a person's value or trustworthiness is dependent upon their competence in combat?
I wouldn't say combat is the sole factor, but that's about it for the most part.
And I'll sort of look at Nova. I'll attempt to do it discreetly and just signal for her to maybe pass the flask to Axel also.
I'll take
And I'll say to Axel, and why do you think that?
Because that's how it was down in the wastelands. If you weren't competent, then you were dead. Plain and simple.
Sure.
Or a liability to your group.
But we're not in the wastelands, right?
We're about to be.
Well, but you left, right?
You could say that.
You've mentioned that you don't want to go back. Is that true?
That's the rough and tumble of it.
You don't want to physically return, but why do you allow yourself mentally and emotionally to go back?
Because I'm pretty much stuck there regardless.
By whom?
That's a pretty loaded question.
Someone other than yourself controls your mind?
Half of it.
And that's how you're going to continue living your life?
Pretty much. There's no real way to fix it.
Mm. Okay.
KB doing some soul searching. While KB was talking, I would have taken a drink out of the flask and gestured towards Axel to see if he would want to take a sip of it.
Sort of looks at you like, you know I can't.
I still wanted to offer.
Sort of smiles. I appreciate it.
It's not
I,
a
I
particular-
have. I'll cap it and put it on it. I have to wonder that if Patience told you that she was not in control of herself, or only halfway in control of herself, would that not be enough for you to deem her untrustworthy and incompetent?
Depends on the context.
Does it?
I think context is important in most situations, yeah.
Well, I do too. I'm glad that you say that. Given the context that I have, which is not a lot, I think that you have judged our friends perhaps a bit harshly.
You could be right, but I've only judged what I've seen,
I understand.
which I think is
Not
a
ev-
fair way to look at it.
Not everyone is from the wastelands, and not everyone is trained in the same things that you have been trained in. Everyone has different strengths and valuable assets, right?
Uh-huh.
If you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, right, you will think that the fish is worthless because you never see him in the water.
Oh my god.
Another one for the books. Another
I'm
one
literally
for the
putting
books.
it in right now.
This is too good. Shh, let this
I,
continue.
I think if you give them a chance, they will have a time to shine and show the worth that they have and what they can offer. But their skills are different than yours.
I'm well aware of the capabilities of spellcasters and hand-to-hand fighters.
But I'm not talking about spellcasters and hand-to-hand fighters. I'm talking about Sophia and Patience, our friends. Right?
That's the way you want to spin it.
Are they our friends?
I don't know. Are they to you?
Well, I phrased it that way for myself. I don't want to speak for you, which is why I asked.
Well, then good. They're your friends. But I don't see how my opinion is relevant to you.
Well, Nova's certainly a friend, right? To you.
That's one way of putting it.
At least a friend, right? If not something greater.
Sure. I'll follow this train of thought.
Nova is a spellcaster, but you would treat her differently than a wizard in the street in an alley, right? Some hedge maze.
Of course.
Of course. Would you treat Sophia differently than a hedge mage that we found in an alley here selling a potion?
Sure.
So on the spectrum of stranger and friends, they're on the at least on the half of the spectrum where friends live.
If you want to know the word I would use, I would probably say acquaintance. Business associate.
Okay. So when we're out of this contract, what do you want to do then?
He gestures to Nova. Her desires are my desires.
Well, business is concluded, right?
Uh-huh.
The work is done. No, there's no need for business associates when business is concluded. Right?
In certain vein.
Okay. And I'll take my flask back out and I'll leave. I'm gonna go to the beans.
Okay. Is
Damn, that was some
KB.
real fucking like.
I was gonna say.
That was like some I don't know, psychology shit there.
But
That was like epistemology shit.
yeah. some
Really
deep
quick,
shit.
Diablo. If you judge a fish for its ability to climb a tree, you will think that it is incompetent if you never saw it in the water. Is that kind of what you said?
Yeah, I think it's. Oh God, I don't know who
Nope.
the quote
What
is
about
from.
just don't judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree?
Yeah, I'm confident I did not get the quote correct.
Well, I like
I
the
know.
way you
I
said
know
it.
what you're quoting. I know what you're quoting. So
Yeah.
that's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have been here for the Kaz generation. There's some one-offers on that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I have a bunch
that
of
was-
Kaz quotes in there still.
Diablo, do you
But-
do therapy?
I'll sign
Yeah,
that.
for real.
You watch as KB kind of does like a little shrug, takes the flask out, hits a flask, looks back at Axel one more time, kind of hits like a half of a hit, and just kind of turns, shrugs his shoulders, and walks off.
Hey, KB.
Yep.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've been with me for a while. I've seen me get agitated at a lot of things, right? But I think it's accurate to say you've never actually seen me get seriously angry, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Do you want to know why that is?
Only if you want to tell me.
Well, I do.
Then I would love to know.
I'm pretty much angry all the time. But unlike you, points to Nova, or those three, I don't have the luxury of showing it without being called a monster. Without someone taking it as a sign of proof that I need to be put down like a rabid dog. That I'm just like what all the stories tell people that I am. Rapist, cannibal, warmonger. You might say. That's pretty nonsensical. Everyone gets angry. That's what makes you human. I would say, yeah. Up until the point when you're not human.
We live in a world where goblins are mostly known, right, accurately or not, as being evil henchmen. Number one occupation evil henchmen to evil wizards and ne'er-do-wells. Cannon fodder for thieves' guild and people of evil plots throughout the land. I'm not welcome in some stores. People will assume that I will steal from them. Uh, I I'm out here with you guys because I can't have a job. I can't be an apprentice. I can't take a trade, right? So people will assume that you're a monster based on a lot of different attributes when they first see you. And you can't help their assumptions at first glance of them assuming that you're a monster, but that doesn't mean that you have to prove them right.
Sure, but at the end of the day, henchmen are still seen as human.
Sure. What good is being human?
I can think of a lot of good reasons.
Over by the guard station in most towns, they'll have a gallows where humans hang from the neck until they are dead. If you're a particular human or humanoid, some people will look at you and immediately think that that's where you belong. Can't help that. Not being human doesn't mean that you have been stripped of your humanity.
I would argue that it very much does mean that.
We can politely disagree. Or maybe I should amend my statement by saying it doesn't have to mean that. Humans can be I've known humans to be monsters. And I've seen monsters display great humanity. You have to make your own path. You told me that you can't. I don't know why or how, but something you'll need to work out.
Yeah, I'll be sure to workshop it.
Like you said, context is important.
Yeah, it sure is.
I don't have a lot. If one day you want to give me more, you certainly can.
Wouldn't help, but I appreciate the offer.
It's your call. If you change your mind, let me know.
Will do.
If there's a lull, I will continue on to the beans. And I'll just say, good luck, you two. We'll catch up with you.
I'll nod as KB walks off.
Watch as KB heads off in the general direction of Patience, Sophia, and Evelyn. leaving Axel and Nova standing there.
I'm gonna be, I will have been this whole time, just kind of very deep in thought, listening to KB's words. Because he's such a sage.
Pretty good.
So I'll probably be like looking down at the ground thinking. He's not wrong. And a lot of things that he said.
No.
And I know he doesn't really understand. But there are some similarities there. I can't help but no. But because it came up, you're not a monster. I just want to make sure that you don't think that.
He smiles very, very warmly. He says, I appreciate the sentiment.
But you don't agree with me.
Sort of just does like a gesture of non-committance. Says, I agree with everything he said. And I mean, yeah. If I had a choice, I would choose not to be. But I don't.
But you aren't. Regardless of what you are, it doesn't make you a monster. I think if you were, there would be something very clear for as long as I've known you that would signal that.
He said, as you say, he sort of looks like down at the ground, like very, very half afraid and half on guard, I guess. And he says, there is something there. You just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, and I know it's there. And I know that it plagues you. But it doesn't make you a monster. And your ability to keep it at bay is what makes you the opposite of that. Because you don't give in to it.
I try.
And you succeed. A monster
For now.
probably wouldn't care. Probably would have given up and just let it happen. You fight it every day, all day long. I'm like,
He sort of like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say while I say that, I would have moved in to like tuck myself under his arm a little bit and wrap my arm around his back.
You would go to do that as you say your last thing. He sort of slumps against one of the bookshelves with his back to it and says, and takes and puts one of his hands like on his forehead, sort of half covering his eyes and half clutching his head. It's not going to last forever. And when they see me for who I really am, they're gonna fucking hate me. And I'm going to prove everything that I said right.
squeeze your back as you say that. So, some part of you cares if they think you're a monster? Some part of you cares that they don't see you that way?
Maybe a little.
No one's gonna see you for anyone than who you are. And if something were to happen that was out of your control, that wouldn't change who you are. That wouldn't make us see you any different. I know it wouldn't for me. Especially because it's something that you're fighting against. And if you ever weren't able to do that, I wouldn't hold that against you and see you as somebody completely different. I don't think they would either. But maybe it would help for them to understand you more. Because they don't know what you deal with or what you battle all the time. So they have no clue what it's like. I really don't even. Regardless of how much you've shared with me, I'll never fully understand it because I don't have to face it all the time. But maybe that would be a step in making our group a little bit closer, a little tighter, a little better, is just understanding each other better. So they know or understand where you're coming from and don't question so much because they think that you're just this big secret or I'm just this big secret, and it's really just because they don't understand.
Wouldn't you agree that giving someone hope only to tear it back away is a monstrous thing to do?
Give them hope in what?
That I'm not like what the stories say.
But you aren't. You're nothing like what the stories say. Even if something were to happen, sure, that would prove that what you are is in there, but it completely disproves everything that anybody knows, right? Just mindless war machines. No care for anything. You've already proven that wrong.
Temporarily.
It's not temporary. And I already told you I wasn't going to let that happen.
I hope you're right.
I'm gonna squeeze you again. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to give them a little more of a chance. I mean, you don't have to, but you know, at least I want to. Just from getting to know them a little bit. I would like them to be more like friends and less like acquaintances.
Maybe you'll be able to do that.
Maybe.
And when he says that, he very clearly meant like maybe you'll be able to, not me.
I very clearly heard that.
It's I think you already know this, but I want to like illustrate it. His entire like mindset is more of like a why heighten people's expectations when you're just gonna lower them again.
Yeah, no, I got that.
It's better to make them hate me so that when they see, their hopes aren't dashed. It's a very self-defeatist mindset.
Yep. No, I've totally gotten that. So, yeah, hearing the you, the same thing would say, maybe I will. And then I'm gonna kind of twist it a little bit and change my tone just slightly. But if you're gonna stick around with me, you might just have to put up with them a little longer. Don't you think it might be more enjoyable for you to be a little bit more chummy with them than just casual acquaintances?
He removes his hand from his head and looks at you, just sort of very melancholy. That would require belief to be something that still exists for me.
I'm gonna just ever so slightly kind of shake you as you say that. My arm's still around your back. Well, I don't like that. And
Neither do I.
think you not having belief isn't helping you at all. You're so set that there's just this impending doom that's inescapable. And I believe the exact opposite of that. And if you could just trust me as much as I feel like you do, you should have at least a little belief. Because
I completely trust you, but look at it logically, right? We know the gods fought wars thousands of years ago on this world, right?
All right.
It's talked about in all the storybooks and the research papers, which if you follow the train of logic, that must mean that the gods once walked here on this very soil, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they saw us, like people, and he means like people like us as he's gesturing to himself, don't you think they would have done something? Yes or no?
It's a loaded question. I feel like, while some gods want to help and make things better, others are very selfish.
Sure. I'm not talking about the neutral or the evil ones. I'm talking about the good ones. They would have tried to help, right?
No. I don't think they would. Because part of our humanity is our ability to grow and learn. And we can't do that if we aren't faced with trials, difficulties. So if we were all perfect and had no troubles, there would be nothing good that could come of that. So I think we all have these issues, or these demons, so to speak, that we have to face, because they're essential for us to become better, to grow. Maybe what you face makes you better because it's something you're fighting constantly. Makes you stronger. Which I know probably doesn't make it easy to hear or make it feel any better.
He looks pretty taken aback by the fact that you said no. It takes him a few seconds to like process it. Referee does. He sort of shakes his head and says, "This is a lot different from a struggle or a conflict. This is a curse, a disease. It's metaphysical, preternatural. If someone as powerful as a god could have cured it, couldn't have cured it." Sort of looks at his hand. "Then what hope do I have?"
You wouldn't be a gnoll. You'd be something else. You'd probably just be a human. I don't know the answer to everything, and I know comparing what you have to deal with to a difficulty is really diminishing what you have to go through. But it's the best comparison I could make. We are gonna find a way to fix it. We don't need a god to do it. Other gnolls have beaten it. I don't see why you can't. That's why I believe and have hope. Because I know that there is.
Well, that makes one of us. But that's enough for me.
I'll take that for now. I'm gonna give you one last reassuring squeeze before I move out from under your arm and then kind of pull you. Let's get the hell out of this library. I can only imagine if there's anybody around, they've gotten quite a story.
Hopefully it was entertaining.
I kind of chuckle and start walking towards the exit.
Now we'll follow.
Okay. As the last two of the group have a conversation and make your way towards the front of the marbled spire and out and back into Molten Hammer, I think that's where we're gonna leave off tonight. Leave it on a high point.
Got a little bit
Now
lower
that's what I call roleplay.
A lot
Yeah.
of group tension,
So,
drama.
join us next week as the group hires a therapist to
KB's
talk
the
That ass.
KB's the
Um,
therapist.
But as the group makes their way on to do whatever task they have left to do, Axel off to make his weapon, and
Pesh.
unresolved drama between the group continues to unfold or fold, and a new item to be picked up. See you next Wednesday. Be safe, and we love you.
All right,
See you at the
stream.
table.
Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate
Bye-bye.
it. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, 8:30 Central. Until then, have a great weekend. Be safe, be kind, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Peace.